Danny and Input cruising through the airwaves. Transformers knowledge blast that never caves. Reviews so sharp they'll cut through steel. In the podcast world, they're the real deal. Jumping in the deep end, swimming with the best. Danny's got the info and she never needs to rest. Input's got the passion like a roaring jet. Together they make a mark you won't forget. Dynamic duo, never gonna quit. Taking over airwaves, super lit. Transformers podcast bringing the heat. Every single episode can't be beat.
Here we are.
That's such a good intro. That's such a good intro. Hey, everyone, welcome in chat, man. If this is your first time here, welcome. And this is your more than first time here, welcome back. That's right, baby. You are listening to the State of the Transformers Fandom podcast. And that must mean it's me. It's that ndashput. And as you can see, once again, I'm mobbing with Danny Double D. Queen AI herself is here and in full effect, so you better check yourself before you get wrecked, son. Hope everyone has had a fantastic week. And a couple things to get off our chest is next week's episode will be Tuesday as well. So same bat time, different bat channel. Wait. No, different bat time, same bat channel. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time and 6 p.m. What is it? Eastern Standard Time? Something?
It's something central. I don't know.
So,
Sometime.
Just set those reminders, folks. You know how it goes. You know how it works. What are we talking about this week, Danny? What are we talking about?
The cost of collecting.
That it? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So, cost of collecting. Sorry, go ahead. I cut you. I was going to do a bad Cody Rhodes joke, but go ahead.
no. I was just going to say that someone in it's a topic people have asked for lately. So,
yeah. And if you guys want to see any topics covered, leave them down in the I keep saying leave them in the description. I don't know why, but leave them in the comment section. Leave them in the live chat, and yeah, man, we'll talk about it. Just let's get into it, man. So, cost of collecting. What's the cost of collecting for you, Danny? The cost of collecting can be multiple things, but what is it for you?
Yeah, for me, it cost me my livelihood.
Oh,
but yeah, I mean, it cost me like a lot. Like me and Bart both funded the Lio Kaiser. It was $480 each with shipping to Canada. And we're going on this toy show, I believe, on Friday to go to Vancouver Toy Show. So, I mean, it's just the cost of collecting is just skyrocketed. The prices have gone up, and you just feel like you get a lot less for what you're paying for. And the thing is, too, like I seriously spent about the same at different times, but I got I got 4 deluxes for the price of 2 or 1 now. I almost spent around the same, but I got a lot more.
Yeah.
It felt like I got more for what I was putting out there.
And that's very true. And DFS, what's up, man? He says paying attention is the most costly part of life. Patience requires paying too. Yeah, absolutely. See, I'm kind of what you're saying is with the cost and everything. I think that's why a lot of people just end up waiting to see if the cost will go down, or maybe it's not like the definitive Galvatron or the definitive, whatever that they want, so they pass on it. They wait for the next one or whatever, right?
But then that can bite you in the ass too, because if you waited on the Soundwave and all, or you didn't get it, it was $400 the Netflix one at one point, right?
Right. And see, and that's another thing. The cost of collecting isn't just money, right?
No.
It's also I don't want to say mental anxiety that comes with it, but I kind of feel like there is a bit of mental mental struggle, maybe, I guess is.
Oh yeah, I think it even affects my mental health, man. Because I'll be on the phone talking about it, people, and like I'm telling them I'm stressed. I got like and it's not that I can't afford some of it or like but it's like I got Lyokaisers coming out. I got a trip. I have like the Fallen Wave or the Age of the Primes wave coming out at the same time. Now like the Combaticons, the aerial bots are all coming out early. I even seen people with like the Star Convoy Prime or whatever it is, like all at once. It's just like, and the cost of my mental health and stress. Well, it's toys. It used to be fun, and when you could go to a store and they had extra stock, you kind of pick and choose what you want. And yeah, you might get screwed on some here and there, but it was like funner. You go to the store, you could actually like pick and choose, and they'd still have some next week. You could. Or 2 weeks later when you got paid, they'd have more stock. You could pick it up, and now it's just like I said, it's a compressant like. I'm like, I want this stuff, but it's like, at what cost? Like, I got to do hair. I got to do Botox. I got to do nails. Like, this nails, fuck you, but this nails shit before the trip, right? Like, God.
Oh, dude, and these companies don't really add, they add more to the problem than they help, because you don't know when anything's coming out. They say March, but then February rolls around, they drop it early. Or they say March, and then, June comes out, and it's like 6 months late, or whatever the case is, right? And then you're getting, emails or whatever about it dropping, and then, or you're constantly have to have that, oh, man, I'm about to lose $100, in the back of your mind. I can't buy this. I can't buy that. Like, you're constantly sacrificing in order to get the stuff, when it used to not be that way. Like you said, you could just go into a Walmart or Target or whatever and pick it up. And if you couldn't pick it up, it was there next week. Or if it wasn't at that specific Walmart, you could go to a different Walmart and it would be at that Walmart. You didn't have to constantly, go toy hunting all day. Like it's gotten to a point now where it's you drive around, if you hunt physically, right, and not like you actually get in a car and drive around. That's what I mean when I say you hunt physically. Like, so if you hunt physically and you're going through all of this stuff, how many Targets, how many Walmarts, how many GameStops, how many Best Buys, how many of these places do you hit before you find that one figure, before you find that one play set, before you find that one whatever it is that you're looking for? And how much time did you spend? How much gas did you spend? How much, just for this one thing? And then when you add all that in, it's just like, well, okay, screw it. I could just order it from like BBTS and it's an extra $3 from what I just spent. And I don't have to worry about traffic. I don't have to worry about parking. I don't have to worry about, in some cases like GameStop. Hi, welcome to GameStop. What would you like to pre-order today? Is there a new game coming out? No, I just want the new Phoenix figure. Do you have it? Do you have the new Galvatron? No, I don't want your stupid discount card. It's like all these stressors and stuff. But
don't ask me what I identify as either. Place has gone to hell. But the other thing too, dude, like you mentioned, the dates, stick to the dates, or at least like a couple weeks off. Like that's the shit that pisses me off the most, is these dates. They used to actually be pretty good. And after COVID, they've been crap. Like absolute garbage. Like you can't plan. Like what's his name told me today? I talked to Martin, and he said that his wife saw Silverbolt and somebody else at the store. I'm like, Walmart? I'm like, are you kidding, dog?
Yeah, the Age of the Primes have hit. I've seen all of Wave 1 at Walmart and Target, respectively. And, I could just imagine the people who want that stuff just being like, oh, man, damn it, now I got to get this, that, and they just, dump it in their carts. I will say this, though. Wave 1 is going to be there. Wave 1 will always be there.
Yeah,
right?
It'll go cheap too. Wave 1 always goes cheap.
Yeah. The other thing
sucks, just the dates. Like it's just like I said, they can be a little off, but like people, I saw like Toys R Us has the Star Prime or whatever it's called. Like it's unbelievable.
I'll say, let me ask you this. You said it was a compressant, which means it weighs heavily on you, right? It's like weighing you down emotionally and stuff. When do you just let it go and just say, fuck it. I don't care. I get it when I get it. If I get it, I get it, and whatever. Like, because you were saying you've got the Lyle Kaiser coming out, you've got this trip coming up, you've got the build, and you got this, and you got that, all this other stuff, right? When do you just say, all right, I'll worry about getting a Lyle Kaiser later on down the road, or I'll worry about whatever, and you just let it go, and you're just like, screw it.
It's hard being with another collector, like in a relationship, because they're just as panicked, and they like feed that fear and panic, like, oh, we don't get it though, and like it's just a constant fear train, like. Especially if you're talking like, oh, but we need to get it, or we can wait on this, but we need to get that. And it's too many lines, man. Like, I love that Spider-Man Marvel Legends line, and I love some of the classified stuff. Some of that's getting played out for sure, but I like some of it. And it's just like, if I only collected mainline Transformers, it still would suck how much comes out, but it'd be like a little bit more manageable, and I could say, okay, I'm gonna wait on this because I know this is the only line I'm seriously collecting that's new, and I can always come back to it, especially the first wave, right? Like last wave, no, I'm not gonna do that, but I can kind of sit back because I'm like, okay, I can wait. This is the only thing I'm collecting new. I can go to the Walmart, I can go to the GameStop, I can sit back and I can order it online if I have to. But when you're trying to go for all these lines at once, I think that's just the extra panic and fear,
Well, that's what so like, when do you let it go?
I don't know. Like I said, being in that, see, I just got that too at the Walmart. You mentioned the Gears DDF that I left, but yeah, this is a Walmart exclusive, so I had to get that right away, of course. But I don't know. Like I don't know when my breaking point is, but I'm selling a lot of stuff right now. I'm taking shit down the toy show. I'm basically only gonna buy vintage mostly at the toy show because what's the point of buying new? Like, I don't know when it like that bubble bursts. Like I said, especially being with someone that's just as addicted or more. Like, it's hard to say. Like, I'm not there yet, but sometimes you get really burnt out. Especially when they release like 5 Galvatrons, 4 Jazzes, like. It's just like, and they're all under your bed except the newest one, and it's just that's starting to get to me.
I'll say this is in regards to like the multiple color variants of like Galvatron and whatnot, right? Where they're like, and I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like, I know a color variant of a Megatron to Galvatron is always a thing, but I'm talking about like Studio 86 Galvatron where. This one is purple and this one's slightly more purple. This one has a little bit more pink into it or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Like that is, I feel like that's one of the quickest ways to lose people in terms of like collecting or having your audience lose interest, right?
Yeah, especially when but you're so addicted, you're like, okay, they're putting out the crappy Kingdom color Galvatron. I know they're putting out the darker one that I want, but I still bought I think I bought 2 or 3 of those Galvatrons, because the one shoulders are messed up, and I bought one without the shoulders messed up. And,
So I mean, like I get certain recolors. But in what they're doing with this 86 Galvatron is ridiculous. You got Galvatron 2, the comic colors, and then that's fine. And then you got reformatting Galvatron. Okay, I can get behind that as a thing.
Yeah.
But when you do what 4? What are they on for the movie coloring? Like,
yeah, I don't know. There's that regular purple Galvatron. Yeah, there was Kingdom purple with the scratches, then there was Legacy without the scratches, same purple, then there's the dark purple one now.
Yeah.
Dark blue.
PDJ says, sorry I'm late. The cost is getting outrageous. I'm still a fan, but I'm done collecting. I definitely, I'm with you on that one, dude. I feel you on that.
Yeah, what's he say? Read that one if you can.
Benjamin says in the live chat says, I am done after Megatronus. It's too expensive and not worth it for me personally. Also, because I am Canadian, my prices are crazy. Yeah, like you guys always get the short end of the stick when it comes to pricing, and we're really starting to feel that now.
Yeah, you guys are starting to get it now. Some of the things are kind of even, and your dollar's worth a lot more right now. It's like, oh, that's sketchy for you guys. Like, you guys are feeling it now. I see it creeping in. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen, for me, I'll see something on the shelf and I'm like, dude, how is that $25? Like legitimately, and this isn't just a knock on Hasbro or anything else. Like Jada's Street Fighter figures, right? They came out at $25, and I'm like, how? Like it's just you got Todd McFarlane doing $22 figures with fabric capes, wired fabric capes, and all this other stuff at 7-inch scale. And I know he's got different pricing tiers, right? But like, the base figures come out $22 and they got a wired cape. Like, it's one of those things where for such a long time we were told that if we wanted wired capes or cloth goods on action figures, it would be really expensive. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these import companies, Mayfex and stuff, were proving that point, more or less proving that point, right? But and then McFarlane comes out and it's like, boom, $22. So it's like, it's doable, right? It's doable to have figures cheaper than what they are. McFarlane will do $80 Batmobiles, but Hasbro is doing $400 Ecto ones. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I can't really tell the difference between the two. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Batmobile, 7-inch scale Batmobile, 6-inch scale Ecto 1, there's clearly a huge, I'm missing something here, and somebody needs to fill in those gaps for me, because I'm not understanding.
Second, keep going.
And in terms of like, on top of that too, I do see a lot of people really cherry picking more so now than ever. I've seen people be excited for the Wasp, the animated Wasp figure.
Yeah, I got them. Yeah,
and rightfully so. And people are like, I'm just getting him in Red Alert, where I feel like just 2 years ago, people would be all over that Superion.
Yeah.
But people are like, hey, man, I've got the Combiner Wars one with the upgrade kits. I don't really need Superion, especially if they're going to scale the same with Combiner Wars. Doesn't make any difference, Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't see $25. Hasbro also just released that Spider-Man for $50. They just revealed that Hulk today, and that Hulk is rumored to be $60. Mm-hmm. It's just like, dude, I've been at the point here for a while now where, I'm done. If I find something at a local toy store, or if something comes into my toy store or something, and it interests me, then depending on what it goes for, I might pick it up. But I'm at a point now where it's like, if it's really hard for me to break out more than $20, because I feel like so many of these figures aren't worth it, because I'm not getting any accessories, any effects, any like anything that would make it worthwhile for that figure. I'm getting a bone stock figure. I might get an alternate head, and that's it. And in the case of like third-party Transformers versus Hasbro stuff, I just want that. I'm at that point now. I want that one definitive version of the character, and that's it. I'm not about to spend $150 or $200 or $300 or whatever it is every time somebody releases a new Ultra Magnus. Like, it's getting absurdly ridiculous, and it's starting to, and when it interferes with other hobbies that are just as important to me or more important to me, that's basically when I gotta call it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jason, I'm seriously addicted to buying figures, and some of them, and some of the ones that I really like, I buy twice just to have one to display and one to play with. Yeah, I used to be that person too. I was buying 3 or 4 of the same figure at one point, because I was like one to keep in box, one to open, one in case my keep in box gets destroyed, and one to put on eBay and sell for a fortune, so that was my thing. But yeah, I can't even afford that anymore, no matter what I do. But but yeah, I'm still in it deep. Like, I'm still addicted. I was back to Lyle Kaiser, 480 Canadian dollars. Like, I'm still buying every figure I can. Like, if they had Scrapper there tomorrow and all that shit, I'm buying it. Like, I just bought that Bumblebee. I mean, but the thing is, like, I love Transformers to a point, but I think, like I said, I don't know, like, if they drop all that GI Joe stuff tomorrow too, I can't get all that. Like, I could, but like I said, I have other shit to take care of, like bills, hair. I'm not gonna put that shit at risk over that. But it's just, yeah, it's just like I said. It's just I need to like really seriously think of like what mainline stuff I'm buying, and I cherry pick hardcore, like mostly the Spider-Man stuff I got, but like some of the other stuff I'm just not buying as much anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm buying other shit too. Don't forget, like this hand fell off of this girl right now. Oops. But like I buy these like Figmas. They're expensive as shit. Like, and some of these, like, they're so cool, like, and they're so posable, and they're worth the money. And I don't want to give up those either, right? But those come out far and few a bit for me. Look at the ones I get, but it's all part of it,
Well, let me ask you this: do you see yourself at any point soon? Because I see a lot of collectors, myself included in this. We got to a point to where we were either so burnt out because of either what was coming out constantly over and over, same Jazz, same Galvatron, same Optimus, same this, same that. We got so burnt out on it. We just were, that was one of the reasons why people called it quits. All the QC issues, all of the yellowing, all of every last little bit of problems. And a lot of us were just like, you know what? We could take this money and we could put it elsewhere and stretch it elsewhere in terms of action figures and stuff. Do you see yourself getting to that anytime soon at all, or just...
No, not really. Like I said, especially with Bart, like he's so like he's 50 something, he's still doing it, man. Like it's like because he's more impulsive than I am, and you know how bad I am, right? Like, he only wants one of everything, but still, it's like just having that there, and like I said, it's so fun when you're caught up in the moment, and you can actually find it at the store and that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I could see myself just dropping other lines in the future, and then just kind of more like unless it's a super new cool character for Transformers, like getting that, just kind of pulling back a bit, especially with space or where I'm living. Like I want to enjoy my stuff in collection.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Like these anime figures, you can't see them here. They're all over here. They look awesome. Like they're just like they're high end. They're cool. Like I want that displayed at my house. I like it. I do love it. Like I love it. And like I think some of my figures went yellow for sure. QC issues, like besides a few, like I've been pretty lucky. But just even how some of them are built, like the Armada Megatron, like just shittily built anyways, like it doesn't even click in. So there's always things that are like, what the hell? And some figures feel way better than others. Like even Bart's like, this feels cheap as fuck, like when you opened it, right? So it's like,
right,
it's like this feels weird, especially like that tracks and stuff. Like mine's jiggly and weird. Like I've opened 3 or 4 of those and they're all the same. Like so it's
See, that's one of the problems too, is like in terms of like plastic quality, it's always like Schrodinger's figure. You don't know how if the figure is going to have good plastic, bad plastic, crummy, like really thin plastic or anything till you open it. Real quick question for Jason Steele in the chat. He says QC is bad. I had to call Hasbro twice last month. Has Hasbro's QC has it been getting worse in the last year? Let us know. DFS in live chat says no other vices except for 100 octane. I feel you on that. Castrol GTX full synthetic.
What happened? Did I lag or did you lag? That's weird. Where'd you go? It's weird. Did I input? Can you guys hear me, or is it just whoa weird? So sorry. He'll probably be back. I don't know what happened. We had trouble last week. It was me. So Danny, have you picked up as recent? I got the Megatronus, of course. I had to get Megatronus because of Martin. Yeah, I got like some of the Age of the Primes, the Red Alert, someone else, and from Big Bad gonna get shipped. Yeah, I say the same thing, Jason. I feel like the Age of the Primes quality has gone up. Power went out. Oh no, gosh. That's what Oracle said. Power went out. Yeah, is he coming back? Okay, getting it back. Okay, I'll wait. No worries. Yeah, I had issues last weekend. Sorry, guys. Oh. Yeah, I got them from Big Bad Toy Store. Yeah, I'm addicted, man. Like I was saying, like I'm addicted. Like the cost is the cost. You know, you know me, I'm a sarcastic piece of garbage. So I always like I got the Lio Kaiser. I'm like, yeah, I got it. Like I'm better than people because I have it. I'm better than people because I buy the same toy over and over. It's like, no, that's addiction. But yeah, it's tough. Like I said, I love the collecting, to the point, but it just, when it interferes with other stuff you buy, right? It sucks. California. Yeah, it's tough, right? But, I love the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, hopefully Input will come back. Let me know. Also, power grid is made with matchsticks. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Gosh. Chatting from the phone. Oh, nice. Well, let me know if he's coming back or... Yeah, it's just the cost is so much, like, of everything, right? Like, yeah, I got the Grimlock 2 recently, the blue Grimlock, right? Like, I had the G2 Grimlock as a kid, so it was really hard not to buy this, Yeah, I think it's like some of it's a little loose, like the arms, when you flip them back and they're in the back of the figure, they're a little loose, right? But, I collect so much, it's hard to kind of keep up with. I even got this new NECA figure, right? The Gecko one where there's Input. I even buy these NECA figures still, so it's like it's just one thing after another. He's back.
Sorry guys, it's super windy here, and we lost power for about 30 seconds or so. So yeah.
No, last week it was me. I was lagging. I was like, "What the hell?" Right?
Well, I did see
Builder Prime. How's it going?
I did see in chat that somebody, but PDJ was saying in the live chat, he wants something about Rodimus versus I guess something about, I saw something about Rodimus versus something Jetfire. Saw something Rodimus versus Jetfire. I don't know. I was gonna. He says, can you speak on the Rodimus Prime issue the first time we get a proper Hasbro release and it's the same cost as Jetfire? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I will say this. Gotbot does an amazing review on those figures when it comes to weight and plastic and stuff like that. I don't necessarily have an issue with the Commander class or anything like that in terms of Hasbro. I do think that sometimes some of those figures do come in skin of their teeth.
Yeah, they do.
In terms of being a commander. So,
and I think like the other thing too is like, I know other people have mentioned this, but like lately, like just the commander class being like the combiner guy, like it's like, you know what I mean? It sucks because like it should be a bigger, better figure than just you know, onslaught that comes with some freaking stuff to combine, you know.
Right.
So it's just, I think that does suck. Like and you know, like just like it holds up, like getting a better, like something, you know, like a bigger, better transformer.
And I think in some regards too, I think that a lot of these companies, whether you have your favorites or you don't subscribe to that idea of having or supporting a company or anything like that, right? But like, I do kind of feel like these companies. I won't say I do feel like they do, and I will make that statement. These companies do take advantage of us, and I feel like in some regard we let them take advantage of us because of, like you were saying, you know, so many people aren't happy with like Onslaught being Onslaught with a bunch of combiner bits, and you know, because at the end of the day we just want to display Minosaur or Superion or whomever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, okay, but what do we do with all this extra nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, you know, we don't really as a fandom, a lot of us don't really vote with our wallet, and that is a huge problem. And companies know this, and companies see this, and it's Malibu Stacy with a new hat. That's what it is. And if you guys get that reference, great. If you don't, go watch that episode of The Simpsons, because that's exactly what it is. And we don't do anything about it. You know, people like me who call out companies for their you know, for their misgivings towards their fans and fandom and everything else, we kind of get pushed off to the side, right? Our voices really aren't as heard as much as the super positive buy everything type of people in the fandom and everything, right? So and then these companies, we attack each other, man. We can't attack each other when it comes to this stuff either, right? People will call you a Hasbro hater. People will call you a Mattel hater. Like, dude, if I don't like this Optimus Prime, it doesn't mean that I'm wrong or whatever. Like the Transformers fandom, I've seen people talking about, you know, people attacking other people's pets because they didn't give this Optimus Prime a good review or whatever the case is, and it's absurd. It's really ridiculous. As a fandom, we have to do better against these companies and really just hold the line when it comes to that stuff, you know?
Yeah, some of the stuff has improved though, like that. Some of the Age of the Primes plastic on that Megatronus feels so much better. Like I don't know what they did, but it's just like, you know, it's shocking that like it feels fresh. It's a new character in a sense, like, you know, like they're not another Jazz or whatever. So yeah, like I said, it just feels like way sturdy built. Maybe because it's the leader and they could make it a little better, but yeah, it feels good. Like there's parts of it I really love, and that's why I'm like so addicted. But there's some of it just sucks, and yeah, no, and like you said, then people fight over their most ridiculous stuff. Someone messaged me, I don't know, it was Brick Builder Prime or someone like that. They're like, "Did you transform that fall?" I'm like, "Fuck no." And then they're like, "How'd the transformation go?" I'm like, "I haven't transformed it." And then they're like, "Oh, it'd be cool if it was like the tank Megatron for G1." I was like, "No, man, Hasbro can suck my dick if they make Megatron a tank. Like, I don't want it 86, right? Like, you know." I just being like, I didn't mean to be too rude or cheeky, but I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I speak my mind. I'm not a Hasbro simp, and you know, but I still talk trash on them. But there's a lot I like still from them at times. It's just, it's so far and few, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of, you know, man. You honestly, you really said it, you know, with everything that you're saying just there. It's so it's just an absurd thing, and at the end of the day, like I feel like a lot of those individuals kind of ruin it for others as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like okay, if you're excited for this and you're happy to be part of the fandom, and then somebody comes along and they, they're basically being a dick to you because you like one of the quote unquote worst Transformers figures of all time, then you're kind of like tainted. You're like, okay, I don't want to hang out over here. I think I'm just going to keep all this, to myself and kind of, I guess, like suffer in silence, if you will. Right.
Yeah. And there's a generational gap too for some of it. I know there's like a lot of man cry babies in this thing too, but I think like with the like, if you're in your 40s, like you came from like, I'm 38, 39 in April, so it's like, if you came from that time where it was a little more intense, like it was better, like, you know what I mean? It was so cool to be original and have different ideas. Like it was like looked up to, like if you didn't agree and you had your own perspective. And I can't believe we got into this thing. I think it's just that biased confirmation from the internet. Like everyone has to like the same thing now, and it's like, dude, like that you would have been fucking clowned on back in the day if you were like with a group of people that like the same thing. Like it's just, yeah, if some people like the same thing, that's good, but like it's just like, I just can't believe the movement. Like if you speak out your mind, you get like shouted out, you can get kicked out of groups. People, they might not like you, you know what I mean? So
right.
So yeah.
Nobody likes me. Nobody likes me.
So it's just, it sucks, man. Like because we grew up in that time, speak your mind. I'm still like that. I even hold back a bit because I at the end of the day, I like to tease. I like to be a jerk, but I don't want to like really, really upset someone. But I like to be cheeky. I like to have fun, right? Yeah. Like I like to just like give it to people because I expect people to give it back, but you just don't see that much these days. And like you said, everyone's get butthurt over it, and then people are talking, and it's sad because it's supposed to be a fandom. It's supposed to be fun, right?
Well, I think what you're describing is like you said at the beginning, is a generational gap, right? Because, like we grew up, man. Like I said, like I think I said this 2 or maybe 3 episodes ago. There is nothing that you can say to me that's going to offend me because I grew up with the first era of Xbox Live. There's nothing at all. I've laughed at it all. Some of the most absurd stuff, like the comment section on YouTube isn't gonna offend me one way or the other, right? Like when it comes to all that kind of stuff, it's just like I'm super thick-skinned when it comes with it.
Oh, for sure.
And I also have the ability to laugh at myself.
Totally, right? You gotta have that like make fun of yourself part.
So I think now there's a lot of I'll just go into the generational thing, right? I think there's a lot of later millennials, and I think there's a lot of Gen Z people that grew up with the internet and grew up with the later version of it where it was so sanitized, and Twitter was all about, being really inclusive of everything, and that whole trophy idea of everyone, everyone getting a trophy here and here and here, and just because you showed up 5 minutes late, you get the biggest trophy of all, so Bobby doesn't feel left out, and little Junior over here gets this and that, and all that stuff. They grew up with that version of the internet where, and then and I think that's what's kind of created that divide there, to where truthfully at the end of the day, a lot of people can't tell, like they can't tell what if the comments are meant to be mean or not, because so much context is lost in typed word, right? So there's a lot of context that gets lost in all of that. So the people and the internet has trained people to automatically be defensive.
Oh.
So there's no in between. Like you can't just sit down and just leave something in the comment section for a conversation. People automatically jump on you, call you stupid, or call you this or that or whatever, and all you want to do is talk, right?
Totally. I think Eminem said it best in that new Houdini thing when he's like, but I'll hit an 8-year-old in the face with a participation trophy. He's just making fun of it, right? Like, it's just it's just for the fun, right? Like, it's just like, get over yourself, man. Not everyone needs a trophy. People learn so much from losing. I'd rather lose 100 times than win sometimes, because you always progress after you lose if you really put your mind to it. So it's just, Yeah, and like I said, it's just it's just the generational gap. It's sad. Like I hope there's this. It always swings back and forth a bit. I wish we could see a little bit more people just being raw and real. And just just being themselves.
That's exactly what I want. I want to see more people being themselves and being, not themselves. I want to see people being more true to themselves.
Yeah, no.
I feel like that's a better way to put it.
Totally, and it ties into like the if you're honest reviewers, like we're gonna do another one of those soon too, probably in April, because there's a few people I've been watching lately that we never mentioned, and they just speak their mind. So.
Yeah, I think the pendulum's swinging more towards the middle of it, because like I said, there was that Xbox Live, first generation Xbox Live era,
Yeah, if you think I'm vicious now, I was 100 times worse than I am now. I was terrible. I was one of the worst people alive. But before I, transitioned to care of myself, I was so negative. If I was that person today, I would not survive in this world. I'd be canceled and destroyed.
And then now we got the pendulum. We saw the pendulum swing the complete opposite way, and now I feel like it's starting to swing and land towards the middle. So, and PDJ in the live chat hits it on the head, says too many sponsors to get honest reviews anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree.
And that is the cost of collecting too, like just that perspective of it all. Because it's just like, it just doesn't make it as fun, and it just, you kind of feel alienated. Like you buy something, you don't even know if you want to share it with people or put it up in this and that. Because like I said, I was putting stuff on Instagram. I had people fighting to the death over each other in the comments. I was like, dude, this is not worth it. I don't care how much interaction I'm getting from this. It's just like, it's just not fun to watch.
Right.
That's another stress of collecting and the cost. Like, it's just like, what does it cost you mentally, right?
So that's why, man, you gotta step away from it. If collecting is what you're doing and that's great and you enjoy it, great. But if you find yourself getting stressed out with it and everything else, I think the most important thing is to find your stressors and and step back. So if you really enjoy it, but people are dogging on you for liking that figure and it's all coming from social media, it's all coming from the internet, man, then put it down. Don't, not saying stop collecting, but I'm saying stop showing it on the internet. Stop showing what you got. Stop showing,
I don't show any of my pickups really anymore. Like if I go to a store in a Danny's World, I might show like a couple things, but I don't post like I used to, like all these daily pickups, because it's just the cost of the mental health from it, like from people fighting or like, oh, you picked that up, you didn't do this. It's just like, I don't want to be ridiculed over shit. Like I just put it up before because it was fun, I wanted to share, like this is out in my area,
Yeah, I get that. But that advice was more for everybody as well.
Totally.
So, but we do have something coming up this Thursday. I know people really missed. Not missed. That's not the right word. Enjoyed. Wow, I don't know how I got those mixed up. Let's start over. A lot of people enjoyed us going over the news and stuff. So this Thursday we're going to be going over the new leaks that go into 2026. Yeah. Danny and friends, it's me. It's Double D. It's Megatron Us, and it's Raziel Kane Reviews. And while we're on the topic of sponsors, he's going to be bringing in his sponsor, DJZ Collectibles. Yes, you heard that right. DJZ Collectibles, right across the street. But it's right across the street from Raz. Yes, but he still has to take an hour-and-a-half drive just to get there because the way Canada is laid out. That's DJZ Collectibles. And we're going to be here Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time. And
going over mostly the Age of the Primes and Studio Series reveals. So you don't want to miss that. Everyone will have an opinion. And yes, we will tell Input shut up just so other people can talk. I'm kidding. But no, it'll be fun. It'll be a good crew.
Yeah, and you know what? They don't want to listen to me babble on for 45 minutes about a HasLab Unicron, right?
Everyone loves you. They want to hear it all day. Like my mom said, she loves you. We love you.
Nobody likes me, Daddy.
Oh my God, nobody likes me.
Oh my God. Behave. Oh.
It'll be fun. It'll be, like I said, those
Yeah.
ones are always fun. We'll probably do a little hangout chat at the beginning and whatever, and then we'll get into the news, right? So it'll be fun. Hour, a little bit over if we go over just to, get it all out there. But it's nice to have some, hot topic, get on some stuff with people. So.
Yeah. And I guess that'll do it for us here this week, man. If you enjoyed the show, thank you for showing up. If you didn't enjoy the show, thank you for showing up. And thanks everybody in chat. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see you guys Thursday, right?
Yeah, no, thank you for everyone in the chat, and no matter the cost.
Thank you for joining us. It has been a pleasure. However, we must now conclude the program. We appreciate your viewership and apologize should we have inadvertently disrupted your evening. Please do not take any offense. We look forward to presenting another engaging topic next week, and we extend our gratitude for your continued support.
You can't stop it, no, the bass gonna break. Tidal waves crashing till the whole ground shakes. Danni Dolphin swimming through electric seas. In the dark we thrive, no time to freeze.